me,
Could
Jody,
just
because
skip
I moved
ahead
Oh,
and
and
didn't
then
have
go
BBC
back to it
America
at some
anymore.
point.
There's no wrong order to watch Doctor Who in. Like, you can just
what if you watch all the episodes
around.
in exactly the reverse order?
That is also
that
fine.
would be fine. That would
That
be
would be
absolutely
interesting.
acceptable.
Do it. Do a podcast
Yeah.
about it.
Mhm.
I
Do
am
it.
doing a
Listen.
knitting night once a week with my niece, and we decided we would watch Doctor Who. So we are 3 episodes in, and I'm going to let her choose if she wants to watch the specials now or wait for the 5 years until we get to it at the rate we're going.
I meant to say, are you ready to be on YouTube? But I was clicking through all the buttons and I apparently clicked the last button that was go live on YouTube.
Hi,
So
YouTube.
you've
Hi.
probably been notified, but
Hello.
we are now live on YouTube. So this is not a great time to read off your favorite social security numbers. But don't let me tell you how to live.
But I have so many
867
favorites.
5309.
That's not enough digits. So
6.
Chip
Four.
is really,
How
really
many
old.
is your number?
Oh, thank
Ours
you,
are
Erica.
9.
Well,
or at least mine is
because of
9.
The number.
Ours are 8.
I had to count them, which
I have
felt
one
very
of each, so
inefficient.
there.
No, they're not. 3, 2,
Um,
4,
Mine is 3 groups of 3,
9.
and I can't remember it, so I'm no good to any of y'all.
Well,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't have
in
to
this
use
exact
we don't have to
situation.
use them very often here. Like, it doesn't come
Mm-mm.
up that often. So a lot of
They-
people
I
they're
do.
applied
slowly
for a
phasing them.
job or like taxes.
That's basically it. Applying
Yeah.
for a job. Yeah.
So
I went
about
to-
this list of plans.
Okay, hold on. No, I was gonna derail Monty getting us back on track. But no, I
Good
decided
luck,
that was
Monty.
too rude. Monty, continue.
I'm going to have to say no to learn basic thieves can't from Krong to leave messages for others in the prison. You understand there's a strict code among thieves and only people who have multi-classed into rogue, and we can tell if that has happened. Can ever speak thieves can't properly.
Fair.
I see how it is.
Monty, I don't know if you remember from the searching for Rutherford, but I have established what Thieves Can't is in my my shared D&D cinematic universe.
I remember.
Okay, all right, good, thank you. But yeah, absolutely, you can't learn that if you don't have at least one level of rogue.
It's not possible.
No,
It
it's
is. Like, you
it's
would never
so
figure it out.
complicated. Yeah, it would just not be incomprehensible. So yeah. Hi, live stream, bootleg YouTube watchers, whoever you might be out there. We are in the preamble stage of getting ready to play some D&D here on Total Party Kill. We will be playing, I believe this is our 3rd session of Prisoner 13, one of the Keys from the Golden Vault heist-based adventures. In this particular adventure, is it a prison break? I don't know. It involves a prison.
Not yet.
And I
You
mean,
haven't broken it.
does it count as breaking in if you, I mean, you certainly were not invited in, right? And you are entering under false pretenses. So,
Good thing none of us are vampires.
yeah.
I think it's not breaking, but it is entering.
Yes, that's true.
It's
Okay.
like sly
The breaking will be
entering,
on the way out.
So,
unless we're really good.
yeah. So as opposed to previous adventures, which involved breaking into a museum, knocking over a casino, things like that. In this adventure, the MacGuffin is not a valuable artifact, but a person with a secret, the titular Prisoner 13. And our adventurers are going to be breaking into that to the prison Revel's End. They have actually a variety of objectives they need to accomplish here at Revel's End, thanks to mission creep. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So we were just having a little brief discussion here. The players did some thinking between sessions about their plans and about things they might do on their plans, and just how we are or are not going to incorporate that into the episode. Continue, players.
I think we could play a lot of it in past tense.
Okay.
If we need to do some rolls for successes of such things, I think that makes sense. But I think we want to get to the prison sooner rather than later.
All right, so I will start us off, and we'll talk a little bit about the journey and what it was like. I have forgotten the name of the boat that you were on.
The alternative, which is I say Explain the plan to me one more time.
That works. I have forgotten the name of the boat, which is very frustrating to me. I feel
We're
like
not
it was
taking
some
the
kind of
Pelican one.
You're not
Jolly
taking the
Pelican?
Pelican one?
I thought a different
Um,
boat showed up. And you're like, oh, look, here's another boat that you can take.
No, I think it's the Jolly Pelican.
All right,
That's
Jolly
what it was.
Pelican
I
it
have
is.
failed to keep up on my virtual backgrounds.
It's okay.
It's okay.
All
It's
right.
not a requirement.
We're recording. We're streaming. Everything is great. Erica, any reason not to start the episode now?
No, I think we are good to go.
All right. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing Prisoner 13 from the Keys from the Golden Vault collection of adventures. Allow me to introduce our heist crew, and they will introduce their characters, and then we will give a brief recap of the story so far. First up, recent addition to Total Party Kill, it's Lincoln Hayes. Welcome back, Lincoln.
Hey, that's me. My name's Lincoln Hayes, he, him, his, and I'm playing Xanter Quickhands, a gnome sorcerer. And he has a lot of talking to do, so let's hope it goes well.
Also joining us, it's Annette Wierstra. Welcome back, Annette.
Hello, I'm Annette, she, her, and I'm playing J-Raff, also she, her, who is a Asimar paladin who is just a little bit goth, although she might have to like subvert that to pretend to be a prison guard this episode.
Also joining us, one of the most recent additions to Total Party Kill, it's Chip Sutterth.
Hi, I am Chip, and my character is Josh Molis. We are all he, him, his, and Josh is a chaotic good cleric of heistiness, I guess.
Yeah. Chaotic Good is the Total Party Kill brand. That's kind of the larger and comparable brand as well. Next up, the always classic Monty Ashley.
Hi, it's me, Monty Ashley. I am playing Krong, a bugbear rogue. Both of our pronouns are he, him. And here's a fun fact about Krong. The current Krong is a completely different character than the one in the White Sparrow games. Just has the same name.
Okay. And last, but certainly not least, it's Erica Ensign.
I'm not chaotic good. I would just like to state that for the record. I'm not chaotic anything. I like rules and I like to follow them. I don't know that my character feels the same way though. I'm playing Levithia du Isigri, she, her for both of us. Levithia is a human ranger with the haunted background. She also has very low charisma, so is planning on trying to open her mouth as little as possible on this adventure because yeah, fooling people is not going to come easily.
So, what are our adventures up to? Well, they have taken a mission from the Golden Vault, as they are wont to do. That specific mission involves a favor for the Axebreaker clan of dwarves. There is a lost fortune that has been stolen from them and is sealed away in a vault. And they have indicated that Prisoner 13 has the key or means to open that vault, and they need that information. Prisoner 13 is incarcerated at Revel's End, has been for some time, and expects to be for quite a good deal more time. So you are going to be shipping up to Revel's End to see what you can do to get that information and hopefully get out. Unfortunately, you've called in a variety of favors with the Golden Vault to help you out on that mission, and they have made good on those favors, but in return saddled you with some additional objectives you're going to need to fulfill. There's a guard that's up to no good. There's a warden that needs to be investigated, and some other things that need to happen that are just going to make our little prison jaunt just a little bit more complicated. So you have set out from the town of Varkenbluff. You are on the Jolly Pelican, just a kind of a general purpose transport ship that is headed to Revel's End. There's a bunch of other people on the boat that are part of the next shift of workers at the prison. There's supplies being brought to the prison. And the idea is basically the Jolly Pelican makes a trip up to the prison basically every week to bring supplies and rotate staff in and out. So you are all operating basically under, I think under a variety of false identities. I don't think any of you is using your actual identity. So some of you have, with the help of the Golden Vault, taken the identities of prison staff, be it guards or cooks. And some of you have created false identities with letters of introduction from the Faerun Prisoners Liberty Association, the FPLA. Am I correct so far in summing up your your ideas? We'll
Yes,
call them
sir.
a plan. A plan.
I would like to add that I am wearing a hat of disguise, so I do not currently look like the bugbear that I am.
Gotcha. So you, for example, Krong, you could look exactly like Diogenes' mainframe,
Diogenes mainframe, that's right.
Diogenes mainframe, a maintenance worker at the prison. Um, JRAF, you're using the identity of Anders Karut, or Karut, a guard at the
Carrot.
prison. Carrot. Oh,
Just
okay.
regular carrot.
Just regular carrot.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's the D&D apostrophe in the name.
I know. I just spelled it
Threw
fun.
me way off. So the identities of Anders Carrot is a actual guard at the prison. I don't know if you look anything like Anders Carrot right now given your current abilities, but that is at least the name and identity you'll be using. And Levithia, you are one Lexi Shrapnel cook at the prison. And I'm going to assume that, these three identities that the Golden Vault have supplied you with are, basically legitimate identities of people that exist in the real world who are, well, in our real fictional world that is Dungeons and Dragons, the game we're playing. But these are people that were in fact hired to work at Revel's End. But we're going to assume that they are all new employees.
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah. Otherwise, I feel like that would just that didn't even need to be established in your conversations with them. They weren't going to be like that. You get on the boat and your cover is blown because you are clearly not Lexi Shrapnel or not.
Does that
Although,
mean we
just to
can
remind everybody, Lex Shrapnel is a real person, so I did totally steal my name from somebody who lives in the real world.
But do they live in Dungeons and Dragons world?
Don't know.
Well, I don't think they do. Well, except that they do because you've created them. So
does that mean we can expect a tour of the facilities as new employees? Pointing out all of the escape routes and stuff?
Yes, and is that a traditional this is where,
orientation.
It's orientation, man.
Yeah, I am not a prison warden
and stuff.
Okay,
here's where we
smoke.
Yeah.
Pay real close attention. This is our worst secret exit that people are escaping through.
Keep an eye on this hatch.
All day.
It's faulty.
This hatch never stays shut. Look at this.
Well, that's an important thing to tell the guards, to be like, you have to keep an eye
right?
on this
I need to know that.
Because,
Josh, you are in cover as Ken Mullis, the chaplain associate of the Faerun Prisoners Liberty Association, and Xanter, if I'm correct, you are the spokesperson for that organization, as one Stanley Willman, a person that does not exist in the real world or in D&D.
I mean,
That's the plan, and
right.
I am carrying the bag of holding for the team at the moment.
All right, you're literally carrying the bag.
Weapons.
So that is an important thing to remember is as part of your cover, you're not just walking around with all your equipment and weapons and armor and things that make you tough.
I would say that we probably each have like a small knife or something, for food, like forks and knives.
I have a long sword because I'm a guard.
And disguise self make my rapier look like a mop?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Can it do that on the boat ride there?
Sure. Oh wow, the other maintenance workers are real impressed that you showed up with your own mop. They're like, look at that guy.
Get a load of this guy.
Don't let him touch it. Don't let him touch it.
We're gonna be we are just gonna get whatever like the free mop is that they issue you when you get there.
It's like a guy with a cool
holster on his hip.
It's like a guy with a cool pool cue. He comes
that it screws together. Yeah.
In the little briefcase, I dated somebody like that. Oh yeah.
Oh, college. Anyway, so we all make mistakes.
So true.
So, what happened? It's several days on the Jolly Pelican from Varken Bluff up to the cold, icy waters near Revel's End, the isolated prison on the kind of on a frozen coast. Uh, what is anything going to happen on this boat ride? It could be very uneventful, or it could be full of events. For this is a story we tell together.
Indeed.
I think there will be a couple events. I'm just
Oh.
guessing.
Would you like to tell me about some of them, players?
I'm just gonna be listening. Like I said, Lexi. See, I'm already calling myself that. Actually, my Starfield character's name is Lexi, so this is very easy. I have terrible charisma, and as is well established in this game, I am very nondescript, just very plain looking. So I'm not like specifically stealthy. I'm just boring. So I am going to make it my business to just sort of like quietly hang out different places on the boat and just see what I hear.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm listening.
Oh.
I'm listening to conversations about, what dominant religions may be floating around here.
Are you inserting yourself into all this? Have you heard the good news?
I want to follow. What I want to do is I want to follow Josh around and listen in on those conversations, and then listen to the conversations that happen when Josh leaves.
There you go. I'm not hitting up. I'm not doing the trying to convert people thing yet, because I want to know. I think I want to go in as an adherent of an unfamiliar religion.
Okay.
To protect me a little bit from not seeming out of place.
All right. Well, I will say, the various people on the boat seem to be from your kind of, as D&D would define them, your classical good religions, because D&D is in a world where there are good and bad religions, which is to say, they use key hallmarks of bad religions are the ones that are very into, human sacrifice or elf or dwarf sacrifice as well. But I would say
that's
that
it. Goblin sacrifice is A-okay.
A-okay. Don't question our morality system. We're the good religion. So the various people on the boat, and some of the people may be a little bit more nervous about things, and maybe there's more kind of open prayers to gods like Pelor and Bahamut and so on for a safe journey across the icy seas to Revel's End. But it seems like those are your kind of generic benevolent deities that you would see all up and down the Sword Coast. I imagine that the people that crew the Jolly Pelican might be followers or particularly attuned to. There's probably some D&D god of the sea, or probably a bunch, and maybe they are particularly attuned to that in terms of safe travels across the ocean. I don't know the name of who is the D&D god of the oceans. This is the place where Tony Googles stuff real quick, and then it becomes canon.
Everybody say hi to future Erica.
Yeah.
Hi, future Erica. You're doing a great
Erica.
job. Thank
Thank
for all
you.
your hard work.
Oh, I'm going to
You're the
appreciate that
best.
again in 6 to 9 months.
Volker is
Or
one
more.
of the good aligned Faerunian deities of the sea,
Nice. Good
a
pull.
minor god of sailors and their ships, as well as favorable winds in naval combat.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
My guy is follows Tamora, and chaotic good is probably not the face that he wants to show for all of these stern guards and such.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pretend to be an acolyte of Bahamut.
Okay.
Have you heard the good news about dragons?
They're great. So
Especially
platinum.
platinum ones.
Yeah, so shiny. Uh-huh.
Are you guys crazy? Dragons are terrifying. They fly around and kill you people.
You're thinking of the color dragons, not the metal dragons. Oh.
I'm what?
You
Is it
see,
like camels and humps and mushrooms and stuff?
there's good dragons and bad dragons.
And when there's a
And
silhouette of
they're
a dragon in the air, what do you do?
Well, they're predefined based on what their color is. So Not problematic at all.
This is very essentialist. This is very color essentialist. I'm not sure
It
how
is
I feel about
extremely
this.
color essentialist. So people in general seem in good spirits. There's clearly a mix of returning crew or returning employees, as well as, there's some other new employees in there. And, there's definitely, it is not out of place at all to be kind of asking about what the work is like at Revel's End. And, in general, I would say that most of the other staff on the boat headed to the same destination as you is, they're willing to, they're sharing, it's not so bad. Don't take any guff from the prisoner, but, we look out for each other, and it's the warden runs a clean operation up there.
Speaking of clean
Xanter.
operations,
Nice. Good transition.
can I get some mopping practice in? It
You're
seems
gonna use
weird
your
to be on a
actual-
boat all this time.
Yeah, you
Roll
can
them up,
swap
Krong.
Swab.
a deck. There's
Yeah.
a deck.
Don't
Yeah,
use your fake mop though, because it's a rapier and you'll end up
It'll just,
making
like,
gouges.
gouging.
right. That's a good point.
Oops.
No, the key here is Krong, is you got to practice mopping but not gouging. So this is important, and this is where you want to get it in. So you're getting up at nights and practicing your swabbing.
Now,
So
I
give me
also,
Guy a monk? What's he doing up there?
I also
Yeah.
have mage hand. Can I make it look like it's actually pushing water around?
That seems unnecessarily complicated, and
Is
yes.
your mage hand invisible?
I think mage hand is
No.
No, it's not invisible. It's a magic little hand.
It is if you have
Um,
telekinesis, but
um,
I
but I don't think a regular mage hand is.
Maybe
All right,
it's
well, this is
hidden
why I'm
inside
trying
the fake
things-
mop look.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Just have it inside the place where the fake mop thing is of
All
the
right.
of the rapier.
See, this
give
is
me
why
some
we
per-
try things out before
Yeah.
we're
And
there.
you make it the
give
same
me some
color as a
performance
mop.
checks.
Uh-oh.
This is like the greatest.
20.
This is way more fun than I
Okay,
thought it
you
was gonna
have
be.
with a 20, you have mastered the art of mopping. When is a mop not a mop? When it is a rapier, fake mopping, and you will have advantage on all future mop checks for this.
Nice.
Excellent.
So Jay has decided that Anders smokes, so she's spending a lot of time on the decks smoking and trying to like talk to people and meet people. So she doesn't smoke, so she's also really bad at it and kind of coughs a lot and it's like all the time. So mostly it's just waving the cigarette in her hand or whatever we smoke in D&D. Is it a pipe? Maybe I'm smoking a pipe.
Probably.
I wave it
Weed, is
around
that
a lot.
trademarked?
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think you can trademark that. All right, so yeah, there's a variety of other passengers and of ship's crew for the Jolly Pelican, also smoking up on the ship at any given moment. So it's a good time to gain various gossip about what's going on.
Xanter,
One of the
under
things
the
we're
guise
supposed
of
to learn is stuff about the warden.
Oh yeah.
Xanter, under the guise of Stanley, will be doing his best to ingratiate himself to the other guards, the other staff at the prison, pass along what our message is, all of that we're here to do these interviews and find out the conditions, and hopefully if the conditions aren't great, we can work to improve them, and if they are great, we can work to improve them even further, so that being in prison isn't that bad.
Yeah.
But in doing that, make sure to have FaceTime with each member of the party around other people. So if we're seen conversing in the prison together, oh yeah, they met on the ship, no big deal.
Yep.
Especially
Mhm.
with the guard and with the maintenance guy and the cook, and then
Give
I'm
me
with Ken.
give me some charisma checks there, Xanter
Okay.
slash Stanley.
Just straight charisma.
Yeah.
Well, that's a critical fail.
Oh no.
It's as
Well,
bad as I can do.
The first guard that you kind of try to make small talk with, this is Wentworth, and he is not impressed. He's like, the warden runs a clean shop. We don't need people poking their noses in here. I don't know. Your whole organization sounds like a a trick to me. Get out of my face. So that doesn't work great.
That's fair. That's fair. You don't. I
Yeah.
don't. We don't.
There's a
that's
maintenance
okay.
worker,
That's all right.
the next day when you're eating breakfast, maybe he'll be more receptive. You want to give me a charisma check on that?
Oh, thank God. Hey, almost the exact opposite. That is a 19 plus 4.
Okay. This is Dominic. He is he's a old-timey seasoned maintenance worker at the prison, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've probably swabbed every hallway up in that place. It's certainly could be better. It's no picnic, but I don't see any problem with having someone there to check things out and let people know that we're doing a decent job up there."
All right. All right.
So-
Have you met this feller? And I indicate to Krong, because I can't remember how to say your fake name. Diogenes?
Diogenes.
Diogenes. There we go.
Diogenes.
To make sure you guys are, you're coworkers. You should know each other.
Oh, Diogenes, Dominic. You a new mop jockey like me?
That's right.
Well, you stick with old Dominic. I've been doing this for nigh on 25 years, and I know my way around both ends of a mop, if you know what I mean.
I think I do.
Well, we'll probably be working real close together.
I'm not sure I do.
Well, you stick to your prisoners' rights things and leave the mopping to the professionals. That's what
It's
Dominic
mop
says.
lingo, egghead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Real technical terminology. This guy, look, he may be doing good work, but this is the kind of guy who he can't tell mopping from swapping, and that's it's not good. Unacceptable.
When you're right,
I
you're
hear
right.
you. I've been trying to swab with my mop, just get some mopping in every day. That's my motto, my mop toe, if you will.
I don't think I will.
Oh well, you don't have to. That's the thing. We'll do it for you.
Yeah, look, college boy. I assume you went to college.
I did, yes.
Your heart's in the right place, but until you've swabbed a mile in my shoes, you'll always just be a civilian to me.
That's fair. That's fair. Hey, and if you need any faith stuff, you talk to our friend Ken here. He's quite the chaplain of
Look,
Bahamut.
the only thing I believe in is my mop. And myself. And Paylor. I don't know why I didn't start with Paylor, but I was getting there.
I mean, Paylor is usually top of the list, and then somewhere down is you. But yeah, I get I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's okay. Your mop be blessed.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So you've made one
Ken,
enemy.
What's this?
I thought you were a cleric of Bahamut.
Sorry. Your
Head,
mop be
tail,
blessed.
wing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great podcasting, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So you made Stanley. Good news. You've made one friend, Dominic, who seems keen to take Diogenes. That's I'm not saying it right.
Diogenes.
Diogenes, a mainframe under his wing, and yeah. So one friend, one enemy. You want to go for a third?
I do.
All right.
I'd like to try to find somebody from the kitchen staff.
All right. Yeah, there's a guy. He's wearing a chef's hat and and an apron, even though he is presumably many nautical miles from a kitchen.
You dress for the position you want, Tony.
I will try to be around for that, but I'm gonna lean into my -1 charisma and just sort of grunt.
All right. He's eating breakfast, and he doesn't look impressed by the ship breakfast.
Food's not great on the ship, is it?
It is not to my standards.
I can tell from your spotless tube that you're probably going to be doing great work up here at the Revel's End. Am I right?
It's not easy to cook for so many people, but I try to put a little of myself in everything I make. My accent, it's not so good.
Questionable. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, my name's
Is it
Stanley.
Eastern European? Is it Italian? We do not know.
It's enough. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here
He's
from
got a
the
heavy
FPLA.
Varken Bluff accent.
There it is. I'm here from the FPLA. This is my associate Ken. He's a acolyte of Bahamut. So if you need any winging next to your head like he does,
I don't know this FPLA. You inspect kitchens?
no, you're lucky in that regard. Am I right? No, we're the Faerun Prisoners Liberty Association. We're here to make sure everybody's taken care of, and in fact, actually, the quality of the food and what comes in and out of the kitchen is going to be top of mind too. Have you met Lexi over here? I met her just the other day, and she's going to be working in the kitchens with you.
Oh, maybe we work
Hi.
together. Maybe we on different shifts. I'm one of the cooks, Pieter. I work in the kitchens.
Advice?
Yeah. What is your advice?
No, you got any?
Oh, that's how you talk to people. It's we do the best we can with the ingredients we get. It's hard to get things that are fresh up on Revel's End, but it's like I say, the guards and the prisoners, they eat the same. We eat what they eat. So you want it to not be bad. You want it maybe, good. Good is hard, but not bad. We strive for not bad.
I just nod.
I can live with not bad. All right, Pieter, it's great to meet you. Hope to see
Yeah.
more of you when we're up in the prison.
Ask for me in the kitchens.
I definitely will.
So, Stanley / Xanter, you have befriended two people and made one mortal enemy.
What was my mortal enemy's name? I got to
that was
Wentworth or something.
Wentworth.
Wentworth.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
Well, you can't please everybody. What other things happen on the trip on the Jolly Pelican as the boat cuts across the icy waters? You see the frosty peaks on the coastline change as you head further north. There's some of the little pieces of land are dotted with snow, and in the distance you can see see Revel's End. You might be there in a couple hours.
In my mind, I'm trying to just sort of like get an idea of basically who everybody is on the boat as I skulk around and just sort of listen. So, maybe there will be opportunities in the future to be like, did I hear anything about that on the boat? Do I know who this person is? But is there anything in particular that I hear that is an interesting tidbit that somebody might say maybe when they think nobody's listening?
Well, I did prepare a long list of NPC names, so we can assume that you would be familiar with a decent number of them because this essentially represents, I think there's like one shift of workers on this boat, right? So that you're at this, depending on how many people you met on the trip, which could be a lot if you're particularly outgoing, you would be meeting a decent percentage of the people that will be working at the prison when you're there, maybe, 1 in 3 or something like that. There is some weird. I will tell you. You do overhear some of the kind of senior prisoners kind of having a bit of an argument about the
Guards?
warden. Sorry. Yes. Some of the senior. Haha.
They escaped.
Prison staff, not prisoners. The senior guards, and it is specifically guards, not kitchen staff or maintenance. They're having a bit of an argument about the warden of the prison, one Marta Marthanis. You've heard her mentioned before, and one of the guards is kind of surly guy. Maybe it's Wentworth from before. He says, "Oh, I've heard her. She's been talking to herself. I tell you, she's losing her mind. She's a threat to the whole situation." And the other guard, he'll have a name. I generated names for everybody. This is Wade, and Wade is insisting, no. She's always been real good to us. She's looking out for the safety of the guards and the safety of the prisoners, and she runs a clean operation. That's what everyone says. That's what I say. And I don't know where you're putting this word out on the street that there's something wrong with her. Warden Marthanis is a straight shooter.
I have a question. Could I tell from just listening to however long I was listening to them, are they both going back after the same amount of time?
Yeah, they're both relatively
Okay.
senior employees.
Okay, so it's not like Wentworth was there more recently
No.
and Wade had. Okay, so also Wentworth used the word situation. Did it sound like he just meant the prison, or did he sound like it meant like situation, like he and Wade have something going on, and now the like it would be bad if the warden got in on it?
Just the prison.
Okay, just checking, just checking. It was an
Yep.
interesting choice of words, but Wentworth. He's like that.
I sometimes I choose words, Erica, and sometimes they're good words and sometimes they're bad words.
I'm not going to
Never
call
bad
this
words
bad.
on
We'll,
Total
we'll
Party
call
Kill.
this a mediocre word.
Oh, that sounds like me. Um, yeah. Anything else that people want to establish on the boat before you arrive and dock at Revel's End?
As far as the guards and the prison staff are concerned, what's the vibe in terms of respect for the prisoners? Or are we looking at a much more traditional, go back to your holes?
Mm-hmm. I will say you're able to get you sit down with one of the other guards uh at lunch one day, and you kind of get him chatting about this. This is Bobbert, and Bobbert says, well, you're going to be there soon, and you'll get the full big picture, but this is a very secure facility, so prisoners spend most of their time in their cells. They don't really get to interact with other prisoners. We take them out for exercise, closely monitored, various wards and protections in place to keep any kind of magic tomfoolery from happening. And a very important policy, Revel's End, prisoners have no names, just numbers. And it's important that you follow that practice when you're there. We do refer to prisoners by their number only.
Does this help them? Does this help rehabilitate them? Because Bahamut would want them to grow from this experience.
Look, buddy, I don't know about your rehabilitation. I just know what the policies are, and I know what gets me my paycheck at the end of the week.
Fair enough.
Now, Bobbert, if I may, with the prisoners not having names, does it seem like they are beaten down by that? Are they more submissive being a number?
I
Form
mean,
into gangs of odds versus evens.
There's no gangs at Revel's End. Prisoners are not really in contact with each other. It's a look. I don't know the psychological reasoning behind the numbering system, but I'm going to tell you. And you're not a guard, so maybe you're not beholden to the same policies I am. But what I know is, you don't talk to a prisoner with their name. I don't know the real names of the prisoners, and you don't get chatty with the prisoners. Prisoners are there for imprisonment and rehabilitation, and another guard sees you getting too chatty, you'll get written up.
Well, that may be problematic because I'm heading there to do interviews.
Well, I know you were something special, but I'm just telling you what the rules are for guards like me, Bobbert.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Bobbert the guard.
Enjoy your sandwich there, Bobbert.
Yep, and he does.
I think you should roll for sandwich, Tony.
All right, let's see what I got. 18. Pretty good sandwich.
Hey, that's a good sandwich.
Where do you get that sandwich, Tony?
It was from it was I think it was like wrapped in magical tinfoil. I think that he may have gotten it from Pieter. I don't think this is a boat sandwich.
Oh.
Not a
Pieter
boat
get
sandwich.
From Smeagol's, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, it does have a kind of wax paper wrapper around it with like a bunch of kobolds carrying a giant submarine sandwich on it. None of a good egg and pepper sandwich. They taste better after 3 days on a boat.
It's like Italian food.
Mhm.
Looking at our goals, we're going to have to figure out what number prisoner Noro Spark is in order to deliver this stone to him.
Yeah, you have been given some secondary objectives with names and not numbers.
Oh.
And it doesn't seem that these guards are up on those names.
Yeah, presumably there's a ledger somewhere where that information is kept, because it's a Dungeons and Dragons adventure, and the objectives are intended to be completable by you. But
Also,
yeah.
if you're doing one-on-one interviews and there's not like a guard around, you might be able to just ask somebody's name and they might tell you.
For sure.
I think we should absolutely we should arrange for a get to know you interview Xanter with the warden.
Mm-hmm.
That helps us figure out what she's up to, and also we might be able to find a clue to where such a ledger is.
Mm-hmm. And Xanter's just taking copious notes all the time. I want it to be very established that he's always writing stuff
full
down.
Clipboard. Got it.
I will make friends with Counselor Kriv Norixis, convince him to vote for Atreus Firebrand, and then use that influence to get Race and Pain fired.
Okay.
Like it.
Yeah, see if you can combine as many of your optional objectives together. That'll look really great in your annual review with the Golden Vault. A society with a lot of middle managers and secrets.
Getting in with Kriv Norexius sounds like a good plan. And Counselor.
Anything else on our journey to Revel's End, or should we fast forward to Revel's End itself?
I'd like to see if we can find out who the Kennel Master is.
Who is the Kennel Master? Sorry, I was looking for the art of Revel's End too.
I have really good. I was just looking at my skills. I'm pretty good at animal handling. So if that ever comes up, I mean, I'm in the kitchen, so probably not live animals. Mostly.
I will say that the Kennel Master is not present on the boat, but you were able to learn that the Kennel Master is one Turner's key.
What was it?
Turner. Maybe it has an S at the end of it. Maybe it doesn't. It's totally a real name. Not one I invented.
It's just weird because it sounded like you had Turner Ski.
You know what? That's what it is.
And there's a thing called a turnkey, which is a jailer.
He said Turner's key is what he said.
Okay.
I heard you, Tony.
And so your journey across the icy wastes, across the seas, comes to an end as Revel's End approaches. Well, I guess as you approach it, how does distance work? But the icy peaks, I'm sharing art with you of a boat headed toward Revel's End. I imagine that's a little boat that goes from the Jolly Pelican to the docks back and forth, shuttling supplies and people. So Revel's End is actually considerably up a cliffside far above sea level, but there is basically a little dock with I imagine, very rickety kind of elevator that raises up the cliffside to the kind of fortress-like structure that is Revel's End. And the kind of main kind of iconic part of Revel's End is there's this big tower in the middle of the prison structure that rises many stories above the prison level that allows the guards to kind of see everywhere in Revel's End and know what is going on. But you are there, so you are unloading, and most of you, I think, you were expected, and so your arrival is kind of without remark. We'll say that each of you new employees is assigned a senior worker who will be responsible for showing you the ropes and showing you around a little bit. So let's see. We have already met several people on the boat, so I think they're going to be on the same shift as you. So that makes things easy. So Krong, you'll be assigned Dominic, senior maintenance man, to show you the expert mop work, which is good. You already have a cordial relationship. Levithia, aka Lexi Shrapnel, you will probably be working as a sous chef for Pieter the cook, and Jay, aka Andrews Carrot, you have unfortunately been assigned Wentworth, the rather surly prison guard, who also doesn't have anything nice to say about the warden. Now, this is going to be a little challenging in terms of your mission in that you do have, you're at a prison. It's a very controlled environment, and you have a full-time job to pull down as part of your maintaining your cover here. Come for the escapism of Dungeons and Dragons, where you must work 40 hours a week of intense labor and be totally exhausted. But it's okay, for after 8 hours of rest, you are totally recuperated and ready to do it again. And that 8 hours rest is guaranteed. Now, Stanley and Ken, which is to say Xanter and Josh, your arrival is a little bit more surprising, and there is kind of a head guard at the docks. We'll say that this is Marshall, and he is a little, they were not prepared for your arrival. And Marshall's saying, you're not, so you don't work here.
No, we're from the Faerun Prisoners Liberty Association, and I thought that we had sent ahead to speak with the warden about setting up time to interview the prisoners and interview.
Well, you're not on my list, and Marshall shows you. Marshall also, you've got a clipboard, Xanter. Marshall also has a clipboard, and Marshall.
Is mine bigger though?
I think they're pretty similar. I don't roll clipboard.
Mm.
This is a contested check.
It's a 4.
I have rolled a 9. I've rolled a 9 on clipboard.
So not that much bigger.
No.
All right, fine.
Yeah. Look, I'm dock master. I'm in charge of I'm one of the shift leaders. I mean, maybe there's been some kind of oversight, but it's very unusual that I wouldn't know about what's going on here. And I mean, I apologize if you were expecting something different, but
while he's holding up his clipboard, I'm gonna.
Aren't we provided with like a letter of introduction or something?
You do have a letter of introduction, yes.
Okay, just making sure.
As he's holding up his clipboard, I'm going to fake a sneeze, and I'm going to cast Gust, and I'm going to try to blow the paper off of his clipboard.
On a pier. Okay. Does that just happen? Is there any chance that doesn't happen? It seems.
Well, it's a for him. If I were doing it against him, it would be a strength save. But this is against paper on a clipboard.
Yeah, I think it's just against paper. Roll something, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm going to roll something.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 8. My spellcasting modifier is 4, so 12.
Okay.
Wait,
that piece
6
of paper,
actually, so 14.
14. Your gust. And does he basically see that you just sneezed the clipboard out of his hand, or is the gust of wind more natural? I guess. Well, so
if you're on a pier, like it's, I'm sure that picture looks windy. I'm looking at the picture right now. It's very windy.
Mm-hmm.
And cold.
He jostles the clipboard, but like the top couple sheets of paper just jettison from the clipboard, and they're before anyone can do anything, they're in the water.
No.
And they're just floating there on top of the water. And Marshall is just looking at his jaw, as just his mouth is open, agape. I had a clipboard. It's supposed to keep all the papers clipped to the board.
See, I can tell that's not the best quality.
Oh,
you're gonna have to upgrade your clipboard there, man. You got to get one of these.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Stanley. Was it?
Willman's the name. Stanley Willman.
Stanley Willman. I mean, maybe something got miscommunicated.
We
do have a letter of
Marshall. It happens.
You have a letter. A letter.
Yes, we do.
Can I see that letter? Maybe we should stand further away from the water. He walks you further down the dock. You are now, and we'll say that basically everyone else who's was just waved through. People are taking turns waiting for the elevator. Some of you might have been drafted to carry crates and unloading stuff. Maybe there's some
DDPDDD.
people. Dominic is demonstrating how to really keep that dock nice and polished with a mop. Um, but and he at first, he you were gonna wait, and he just kind of walks past all the people waiting to get on the elevator, and motions the two of you to get on the elevator with him, and kind of holds out his hand for the letter.
Ian,
So you're gonna him the letter.
Ian's got all our stuff.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Ken. Okay, Ken, you hand over the letter.
I will hand over the letter.
He's like reading it really quickly. Favorite prisoners. So I will get this sorted out. We will get you in with the warden. It might take me a little bit to get that sorted out, but we'll get this sorted out. I'm so sorry about all of this.
No
And I will
problem.
tell you, I think give me some kind of bluff performance, some kind of maintain your cover, lie to this for Dockmaster check there from both Ken and Stanley.
I rolled a 19 for deception.
And I rolled a 17.
All right. You are basically shown through. I was going to decide basically based on how impressed he was / concerned about things, we was going to determine how far into the prison you were going to be escorted before being left to wait for the warden. And I'm going to say I feel like that was a pretty well done situation. You have destroyed his paper evidence, which no Dockmeister likes that. That's bad. And so he has chosen. He's got some guards with him once he gets up to the top of the elevator with you, and he orders a trio of guards to escort you up to the office level of the central tower that overlooks Revel's End. And I'm just going to move you on the map. I'm going to put your tokens down. The kind of cross sections of the tower are down below the map. You go up many flights of spiral stairs. It's a decent climb up this tower, and are shown into. It's basically like a large conference room. It seems like this is probably the room where the Absolution Council that determines when prisoners get released from Rebels End meets. And it's been indicated that the warden's office is basically adjacent to this chambers, but you'll wait here until the warden is arrives / is ready to meet with you. The guards are very polite and apologetic to you.
In our journey in, could I have clocked prisoner 13's cell?
I think you did. As you traveled you were basically kind of traveled through the main part of the prison into the big panopticon area, where there are all these little kind of pie wedge shaped pieces, prison cells that the central tower looks on. And I think that all of these cells are here. I think it's going to be you may need to kind of get your hands on some piece of documentation in order to know which one is prisoner 13. I think will be needed.
What did the cell doors look like? Any clues or any?
The cell doors, and because of where you got taken, you got a very good look at this. The first level of the tower is basically a big guard room, big hexagonal shaped structure, doors on many of the walls, and little kind of arrow loops that look out on all of the prison cells. And inside that first level of the tower, there's a big kind of mechanical board with little switches that control all of the. There's a different switch for each of the many cells on the first level of the panopticon of the prison. So each cell door is controlled remotely. And I'm even going to say, what the heck? You got kind of an impromptu tour. You saw guards accompanying like a little I want to call it a wagon. That's not probably quite the right word, but like a little rolling cart with food on it, and some of the kitchen workers, and they were delivering food one by one to the prison cells. So this is a situation where kind of the prisoners are in very high level of security in their individual cells. That is where they get food. There's no central mess hall or anything like that.
On this quick little
Mm-hmm.
jaunt that we have, can we see what the food is? Can we get an idea generally from this what the meals look like for
The
potential of slipping something into Prisoner 13's food?
Sure. I would say that the meal that was being served today comes from a large pot and looks like it was some version of mashed potatoes.
So was it being dished out on the cart, or was it a bunch of just like plates full of food that were being
There's
handed out?
like a big pot, and the kitchen worker is putting scooping with a big ladle, very specific imagery here for this particular part of the adventure, ladling mashed potato goop into a bowl, handing the bowl to a guard is then I guess there's probably a slot in the door, passing it to the prisoner through the slot, and they move on around the prison.
Okay, so it is a kitchen worker that is
Mm-hmm.
pushing
That's
the
what I've
cart.
decided.
Just checking.
Yeah. Kitchen worker accompanied
Noted.
by a guard.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. So you are waiting for the warden who will appear soon. Let's check in with the other folks as you are starting day one, shift one on the at Revel's End. So there does not seem to be a formal shared orientation for new employees. It's a little bit more hands-on. You're paired with a senior employee, and some of those senior employees are lovely, like Peter the chef, Pieter, who just wants to make things as good as he can given the limitations of cooking at scale and the supplies he can get. And some of them are Wentworth, the worst guard in the world, just a real Harvey Bullock kind of guy. And that unfortunately that is who you have been teamed with, I believe, Jay, and
Yes.
he's just giving you like nonstop talking at you lecture about like we don't take no guff, and we are we run a strict operation here. You give them an inch, they will take a mile, and violence is the only tool we have. So, and he there's a lot of foot stomping and banging his sword on the wall for effect kind of deal as he tries to scare you straight, I guess, about how serious being a guard here is at Revel Inn. Some of these people, they're just the worst. They're murderers, arsonists, disgraced politicians, writers. These are the worst of the worst, and we're here to keep them in line.
Writers. Wow.
Well,
Well,
the
they're pretty bad,
laws
those
of
writers.
the laws of the sword coast are complicated.
The pen is
Um,
mightier than the sword, and a magic pen. Ooh.
Too dangerous. Yeah. Thank you, Monty.
I would like to sort of feed this disgruntledness and tendency to violence by asking him questions about like his worst prisoner and what's the baddest thing he had to do to someone who tried to escape, perhaps.
So, I've never seen anybody successfully escape from Revel's End. I think every couple years somebody gets some ideas, but we've had a couple people thinking they can jump out of the windows of those towers, but surprise, surprise, it's a long way down, and that's a lesson they only learn once.
Wow.
Teaches everybody else though, keeps them in line. Most people they keep to themselves. Even we've got people here for a long time. You might come across Prisoner 13 as one of the longest held prisoners here, and but she keeps to herself, doesn't cause any trouble.
Be the one we need to like watch out for who might try to trick me.
No, I'm just gonna say, don't mess with Prisoner 13.
But why? Like if she's not going to trick me or he's not going to trick me.
Look, some of these people, they got contacts on the outside, and things. You can do things the easy way, you can do things the hard way. And some of these people, you give them, take care of the right people in here, they take care of you outside. Prisoner 13's one of those.
Okay, so we should be nice to them. Who else should I be nice to?
Well, I don't know. I mean, most of the other prisoners, they're just scum, just complete trash, barely people as far as I'm concerned. but you gotta look out for yourself. But yeah, Prisoner 13, special exception. Um, she's all right in my book. Let me just consult my list of things. Um, do, do, do. One guy you got to really watch out for. We're on A shift, the head of B shift, Racing Payne. That guy, just a real jerk. He's not a straight shooter like you and me. He's just mean, and you don't want to get on his wrong side. You'll be on mop duty for a week.
Mop duty. I don't want mop duty. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, not what I'm here for. I'm on guard duty.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
I
on mom duty. Sorry, Jay, you may continue.
I was just gonna say, I know who I'm gonna listen to. You seem like you're the best guard here so far.
Yeah, you got a good sense of eyes on you, kid. Stick with me. Meanwhile, on mop duty, Dominic has been teaching you the art of being a maintenance worker, and look, kid, it's not all mop glory. Sometimes we got to fix stuff. There's door hinges that need to be oiled. There's
I get it, absolutely. But about mop glory, I just wanted to. Is it okay if I don't use my mop for every job?
Look,
it's a custom job, and I'd really be more comfortable with it on my hip at all times in case I need it for an important job. But I just want to use a regular mop like a regular guy.
You're a strange kid, Diogenesis, but I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. As long as things get mopped, I'm not gonna ask about.
Wait, go back. What are you doing here today if not telling me how to do my job?
I care that the job gets done. All I care about is results, not methods.
Okay, that's great. Where are the counselor's offices?
Oh, and he gives you kind of a tour. So I will tell you just and probably some information that most of you will glean from just your working your first shift in the prison. Revel's End is this big kind of hexagon with various little kind of spiky triangles sticking out of the sides as far as a bird's eye view of the map. The central prison area is the main area of the prison that takes up most of the floor plan. But there are kind of these things off on the little triangles where stuff happens. I think all of the quarters for the various prison staff are in the many levels of the central tower. And I apologize, the map does not it doesn't have I imagine the tower is like 10 stories high. It doesn't have cross sections of every floor, but you could imagine there's basically several floors worth of kind of barrack styles quarters for the guards and prison staff. The kitchen area is in the kind of southeastern kind of quarter of the prison. There is a small kind of recreation yard in the northeast triangle quarter of the prison, where prisoners basically are given a very limited small amount of outdoor time, one at a time in there. And off of the south of the kitchen, there's basically a kitchen and a staff eating eating room. South of that, there's basically the only thing that there is for kind of private quarters, which are reserved for the counselors that are part of the Absolution Council at Revel's End. So the way Revel's End works, Revel's End is this big prison that people are sent to from all up and down the Sword Coast, and all of the towns and cities that are part of the Lord's Alliance, which is like, the closest thing there is to an overarching government on the Sword Coast, which is to say not much, is allowed to have a representative at Revel's End. So there are these little, I look at them as they look tiny. Like in terms of square footage, the counselor's quarters and the are slightly smaller than the prison cells. So I imagine they're just like little kind of like tiny dorm room kind of facilities. But the counselors stay there. It is worth noting that of the 10 towns and cities that have representatives at Revel's End and are entitled to have a representative there, and each of them has a designated room. only 3 of the 10 are present at this moment. In part, probably this is not the most exciting duty. It's also not the nicest conditions, and the weather is awful. So probably effectively 7 out of 10 of them are not here right now, and 3 out of 10 of them are. But those, Monty, on the map, you see that little grid of little rooms in the uh yeah, someone pinged it there.
Yeah.
That those are the counselor's quarters. There's a room you might all, because people were interested in the kennels before. There's a room with kennels near the south entrance to the prison, which is basically, aside from the only 2 entrances to the prison, or which you might think of also as exits later in the adventure, the south side of the prison has the exit/entrance to the cold exteriors of the area, and on the north side is the docks. So those are your only places that you can go.
About sleeping.
Yep.
I think my hat of disguise probably stops working when I'm asleep.
So you're gonna have to like really bundle up.
Can I sleep under a cot? I've been pretty consistent on the bugbear lore being under bed monster.
Let me say, I think you could. That might go noticed by people in a barracks bunk bed situation.
Yeah, but if you stuff some pillows and stuff
you
under
are,
your
I
blanket.
mean, you are also extremely stealthy. So I guess if anybody could, you could.
Can I find an obscure corner of the prison and sleep there where no one can find me?
For 8 hours? Yeah, that seems within Krong's set of abilities. Certainly there comes with some risk of that, but it is within your abilities. I will tell you something you do notice, this is a prison. It's a very controlled environment. It seems like staff are not just wandering around the prison. There are guard patrols that move around the kind of the prison areas and the cells on patrols. They seem like they're always in teams of 2, and they're kind of spaced out. And so it would, though I guess a maintenance worker would probably have the best cover for moving around. Probably not alone, but Krong is also very, very stealthy. So, and there's some storage rooms and things like that, especially the kind of, is there any, I think the northwest corner of the prison is, consulting my book.
While you do that, I'm just going to say that my general plan is to stealth around. And if I get caught, then, I'm just a maintenance worker here with a mop.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they turn around, whoosh, I'm gone like Batman.
Gotcha.
And the first night, I am going to try to break into Kriv, what's his name's cell.
Okay. So the top corner of the prison, it's just a big open area that is apparently basically kind of a warehouse-like storage room. It takes a lot of supplies to keep a prison running, and given the remote location of Revel's End, they basically have several months worth of provisions and equipment and whatnot stockpiled here, which to me sounds like lots of crates and barrels, and lots of crates and barrels means lots of nooks and crannies and shadows for a Krong to sleep in. So, maybe not a long-term solution. Krong, what I'm telling you is do not try to work at this prison for years and collect a pension that eventually someone will accidentally trip over you. But I think in the short term, yeah, you could try and sneak away whenever and sleep peacefully in a warehouse instead of conspicuously in a bunk bed.
Excellent. I do that.
Okay. Anything else that people want to try and learn about the prison on their first couple hours there? Xanter and Josh, do you wait patiently for the warden to arrive at your meeting?
Yeah, it's a little too early to get caught rummaging through file cabinets.
All right.
I will be snooping, but in a like, I'm so sorry kind of way that if anyone were to walk in, they'd be like, I was just looking at the books that you have on the shelves.
Okay.
I'll stay closer to the door.
Yeah.
So that I can draw attention to myself when somebody walks in.
Okay. So it is almost an hour that you're waiting in that conference room, and Xanter, you have snooped as much as there is to snoop. It's a conference room. It's not very exciting. There's a big table. There's a bunch of chairs. There's a very kind of paltry bookshelf with stacks of kind of legal literature on them that is not very exciting. Is not revealing about Revel's End in any way. When the warden arrives flanked by guards. This is for some reason her name does not stick to my head. Marta Marthanis, warden of the prison, and she greets you and says, "Oh, you are unexpected, but I am excited to learn about the Faerun Prisoners Liberty Association. Please step into my office." Will our adventurer's totally nonsense story about being advocate for prisons hold water, or is this where it all comes falling apart? Will Dominic, the friendly maintenance worker, see through Krong's mopping? Will Wentworth, the jerky guard, do something super inappropriate and obnoxious at work, and everyone will have to get sensitivity training? Will they all die? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Can you tell I don't prep these questions ahead of time?
That's why I'm using a
They're the
regular
best.
mop for most of the mopping.
Yeah,
Because that
I
one
get it.
actually mops.
All right, that I think this adventure is it's really not, you have reached the stage of it where there is zero structure and it's just stuff you want to do happening, and I decide what works and what doesn't, and what things pop up along the way. So I don't know, it's possible that our adventure could be concluded next session. It's possible it will take you a lot longer.
6 more.
Yeah, so
Let's find out. Let's
But
find out
that-
if any of us are going to be taking a
Exciting.
long dive off at the tower.
yeah. Well,
Again,
live
I have
stream /
Featherpaw.
bootleg. Thank
That's
you
right.
for listening. I think we're going to sign off now. I don't think we've scheduled a next date, but we will hopefully be back on a Tuesday soon. You can always check the Incomparable live stream channel on Discord to see future upcoming events. So stay tuned for possibly the next episode, possibly the conclusion to Prisoner 13. Bye.